Hey, sports fans. Okay, what I'm going to go through today is we are going to explain the 10,000 meter and 5,000 meter bug that's currently on. So, essentially, I'm just going to let's do 5,000 first. And then we're going to do a test because I want to test some other things, see if they work. So, 5k and 10k, when you look at the records, so let's go into rankings. If we look at records and we do 10,000 meters. Okay. So the fact that someone has a. No, I need all time as well. So the fact that people have records which are 3-4 seconds higher. 5k. Again, there's a massive gulf there between three people are low and then you've got a 1225. So there's a big difference between this, and we see this quite a bit when we look at things such as tribe challenges, etc. Anything where there's an individual score that you can view, you start to see these discrepancies. And so the whole purpose is, if you use an older version of a device, so let's just say you got something which is, I don't know, let's say an iPhone 12 or 11, or you've got a Samsung S20, which are essentially 4 or 5 year old devices. The processing power on those devices, the fact that they clock and all of the firmware updates massively slow down the devices themselves, means that if you play this game on those devices, you don't get the same experience as everyone else. So when you're using 5 and 10k, things such as like when you're pressing the button to ensure that you use energy, what's happening is it is not recognizing the full energy usage. So by the time you get to that final lap, especially on the 5k, you've got energy still left, which you shouldn't have based on how long you've been pressing it down for. It doesn't recognize that, and that's how you're able to get a slightly quicker time by like 4 or 5 seconds, which doesn't sound like a lot, but it's a massive gap. So that's a proven bug that supposedly is out there. So what I thought was quite interesting, let's try something different. And I wonder if we go into settings, and I've sort of started doing this. So if we turn everything on, and then if we turn this down to low and turn spectators off, will we see a difference in performance enough that we could tangibly say that's because of that? So I'm going to stick everything on high, which technically will make it harder because we're having to process a lot more. We're going to use the 5k. Okay, so what I want to be able to see is the time, but also the energy utilization. So if we press the energy from the start, when do we run out by? Okay, here we go. So I've got to make sure that I get all of them with max energy, which should be achievable. But knowing me, I'll muck something up somewhere so we don't have that. There we go. Right, I'm using my bonus straight away. When is it going to run out by? I'm not going to let up. It is going to run out by around about the beginning of that top straight. Okay. I mean, time-wise, we're not doing too badly. I've got to try and make sure I get the exact same of this. This is going to be the hard bit. However, we should be able to apportion some of it. We also know there's a slight variance between events, so this is not going to be an exact science. We are not going to win a science competition based on this. There we go, just outside our PB there. So that's with everything turned on. Okay. Now, let us see. So it's 12:38.097. I love the fact that third place did not finish. What happened? Let's change. Okay, so we're going to go back to long running. 5k. Now, let's change in the settings. Let's turn off our spectators. And let's run in low quality. And let's see what happens. I have a sneaky suspicion that in low quality you do slightly better. And the only reason I say that is because I got a new personal best. I actually got a new national record by doing this. So let's test it, shall we? feels quicker. It's not, but it feels it. Here we go. Right, we've got the exact same. Got a slightly slower pressing the energy. So I think at the top of the 3 will it be? Oh wow, that seemed to go on a lot longer. Okay, it seemed like our energy lasted a tiny bit longer, but I was a bit slower pressing it. So I'm not entirely sure whether we can say that's a direct correlation to this test, but let's see how we're doing. There we go, we've got 2 perfects. We've caught up the super athlete. We're going to overtake, we are. I'll tell you what, there's not much in that, is there? So, I think in 5k, I've got a funny feeling 5k, you know, we could sit there and say it was a tiny bit better. I actually think my button presses were a tiny bit better as well in that one, hence why we got the quicker time. So I would say, so far, we are going to conclude that there is no difference, but let's try 10k. 10k, a little bit further. Let's do it in the same order. So let's go high quality with spectators. Okay, let's try it again. So this is going to be a bit harder to do a comparison. We can hopefully get, oh for God's sake. Well, that's blown that, hasn't it? Should probably kill the application and start again, but we're not going to. We're going to persist. Only because there's a challenge on where based on stars and all of that. But high quality with spectators. Wow, we got 2. Oh, what am I doing? This is an extremely poorly run 10,000 meters. I can only apologise. Right, we're going to have enough to get round. No. Okay. So we have 2 yellows, which is absolutely terrible. So it's 1 good. Okay, we've had 1 perfect. This is bad. This isn't even worthy of doing a comparison, I don't think. But we're going to keep going. How are you overtaking me? Oh, that's really bad when you miss that one. Yay. Okay, I don't think we can use this one. But 2619.6. Okay. I'm going to go to the other one because I'm going to go low and no spectators. 2619.6. 2619.6. I should write it down. Not going to. 2619.6. There we go. Oh no, I've done the wrong event. And it's the worst event in the world to do. We're going to kill the app. We're going to reload the app and hopefully this works. I can't believe we just loaded for 3k. Hopefully this works. Otherwise, there's going to be a really bad end to the video and I'll have to redo it. So, results, yep, thank you. Long running, 10k. Okay. 2619.6. That was 2 yellows and literally a terrible final lap. I know what's going to happen. Someone's going to message and say, what are you talking about? Terrible. That's good. Oh my good God. What's wrong with me? Oh my good God. Right, I need to get all of these perfects. Get all of these perfects. We can actually use this as a bit of a test. Well, we can use it. 160s. That's probably about there. Come on, keep going. Okay, that's pretty good. So we're on 2619. We need to. That is terrible. Don't know what's going on. Literally, 5k fine. And so again, we've done 1 perfect there. We are as comparable as I think we can get. 2619.6. Wow, Jesus. I did miss this bit last time. We're going to get it that time though. And I know there's going to be tiny variances in all of this. 2619.6. Do you know what? I think we can say that graphic quality and spectators make absolutely no difference to gameplay. So I think the next thing that we probably do need to go and test out is the Marathon Conspiracy. We'll do that on the next video, because this marathon, I don't buy into this Marathon Conspiracy piece, but there are people that do, and that's fine for them. But yeah, hopefully that is all good. So I will see you again in the near future. So let me end the video. Thanks everyone. Bye.